And
Hello, it's 5 p.m. and you're watching Salford Now. I'm Olivia Lindley.
And I'm Jake Pencuthman. Here's what's coming up on today's show. Salford, it's time to dig out your masks again, with new restrictions set to be imposed across all of the UK.
And one local business is helping to improve children's education after lockdown.
Educate set up boxes for young children aged 3 to 8 of materials that we think will be fun but also educational.
And I'm here at Ordsall Leisure Centre to find out how men are using football as a way to tackle weight loss.
And we'll have more footballing success stories from Tom later on in the programme.
COVID rules are to be tightened across England from tomorrow as a result of the new Omicron variant. Currently, there are 9 confirmed cases in the UK, with 6 of these being discovered in Scotland.
Professor Jonathan Van Tam has admitted the number of mutations does give a cause for concern, but he did clarify he did not want the public to panic at this stage. He went on to add that there will likely be an impact on how effective the vaccines are, and advisors are now encouraging over 18s to receive a booster jab.
There will also be a return to wearing masks in shops from tomorrow morning, and all school pupils, year 7 and above, will have to wear masks in communal areas. Harriet Haywood has more.
As of tomorrow, across Salford and the UK, the rules regarding COVID will be changing due to the discovery of the new Omicron variant. These rules will now require anyone arriving in the UK to take a PCR test and isolate until they receive a negative result. Anyone using public transport or going shopping will also have to wear a mask. But how welcome is the return of the mask?
Coming back, a lot of people are dying, and we've all got to be safe, you know, for the elderly as well.
Yeah, I've never had mine off, and I've got an husband that's infirm, so I can't afford to take any germs home. That's the reason.
I think if it helps people, you should just do it, even if it's not mandatory.
Yes, because my brother died of COVID, so I've never took mine off.
Anyone who has a suspected case of the Omicron variant will have to isolate for 10 days, regardless of their vaccination status. However, families are being urged to celebrate and plan for Christmas as usual.
Thank you for that, Harriet. Now, for many of us, a kickabout with mates at the weekend is one of the ways to keep fit and to keep in touch with friends and teammates.
Ordsall Leisure are looking to help men's health by playing host to Man v Fat Football, a company aimed at helping men to get into shape by using weight loss incentives in their leagues. Tom Parker laced up his boots to find out more.
Football has been a way of life for many in the UK, and now Ordsall Leisure Centre are playing host to Man v Fat Football as a way to improve men's health by adding weight loss incentives to their leagues.
90% of people that attend weight loss interventions are females. Realised there was something needed to be done to try and help men do it. We weigh the guys in before the game. Depending on how well they've done on the scales, they'll score goals for the team. So for every 2 players that loses weight, they score a goal. For every 3 players that tracks their food, drink and activity, they score a goal. If they hit targets like 5%, 10% of their weight loss, they'll score 3 goals. And then whatever they do off the pitch gets added to the score of the game.
the incentive is to lose weight. So even if you are the skinniest guy in the world and you want to lose weight, your incentive is to lose weight. And I think also having league competitions and games and cup games, to get a medal at the end of it, the lads are like, buzzing, because even if they don't feel positive about how they look, they're enjoying a Thursday, coming to play football and actually meeting new people.
The Health Survey of England in 2019 estimated that 28% of adults are obese and 36.2% are classed as overweight. Now, the same survey also suggested that men are more likely to be overweight than women, with 68.2% of men being overweight compared to 60.4%.
You know, it's hard to push yourself to lose weight on your own. You know, it's doable, but it's 1,000 times easier when you've got a team behind you and you're tracking every week and you get rewarded. Basically, your team gets rewarded for personal losses and tracking and stuff like that, so you feel like you bring something to the team. So I joined back in June, and to be fair, I started at 107 kilograms and now I'm down to 86.
That's good. It's more fitness and losing weight, but it's a good thing. Get a load of lads, have a laugh, kick about, lose weight at the same time.
Yeah,
it's good. Do you know what? The lads are all men. Every one of them, you can talk to any of them, and they've all got to say they'll all help you out. If it's mental health, or dieting, the rest will help you. Any one of them.
Over the last 14 weeks, the guys lost 300 kilograms. As Man Be Fat as a whole company, the guys have lost over £400,000 across the country. So it's been really successful, and we know it works. We know that 90% of guys that sign up lose weight. We know that 60% of guys who take part in more than 10 sessions tend to lose over 5% of the body weight. And here it's been really, since the pandemic, we're over 1,000 kilograms lost.
After seeing all the success on the pitch, I couldn't resist having a few efforts at goal myself, and I think it's fair to say I need a fair bit of practice. Tom Parker, Salford Now, Ordsall.
Now, are you seeing more examples of street art around our city? New figures show that graffiti is on the rise in Salford, with a 60% increase in the last year alone.
Our reporter Will Hallows has been finding out more. Will, what more can you tell us?
Thank you, Olivia. Well, a week ago, Salford City Council's Community and Neighbourhoods Scrutiny Panel held an online meeting to address, among other things, the rising issue of graffiti in Salford. In this meeting, David Robinson, Head of Service for Street Scene and Parks, gave a presentation that revealed a dramatic increase in reports of graffiti. His report showed that in 2019 to 2020, there were 94 non-offensive graffiti reports and 108 2020-2021 saw these numbers rise to 206 non-offensive and 129 offensive. Ordsall and Irwell Riverside were the most affected. Ordsall alone had nearly a 600% increase in total graffiti reports. To fight this problem, the council employs a dedicated graffiti removal team. Offensive graffiti is removed within 48 hours, an average response time of 2 hours, even during out-of-hours times. And non-offensive graffiti, such as tagging, is removed within 5 working days, with an average response of 2 working days. The removal of graffiti costs the council almost £60,000 a year. Preventing or punishing these crimes is difficult because instances of graffiti is not often witnessed by members of the public. The council needs to be selective in what they remove. In 2011, they spent £15,000 to remove graffiti created by professional artists along a portion of the Ordsall waterfront that was beloved by the community. Out of respect, the professionals left the wall alone, but the amateurs and vandalists saw this as an opportunity to make their mark on the fresh wall. And basically, a piece of stunning artwork was replaced by an eyesore. So it sets a precedent that they need to be selective in the kinds of art that they remove. Back to you, Olivia and Jake.
Thank you, Will.
Over lockdown, Salford artists have been busy creating pieces of work, but for many of them it's been a solo pursuit.
Well, now the Salford Art Club has reopened, meaning artists can finally meet in person and showcase their art. Kath Dinsdale has this report.
We sing our songs, we do our artwork, and I think that's what makes Salford so special.
What you see here is a gathering of creative minds in the Salford Museum and Art Gallery. The Salford Art Club exhibition has been launched, giving exposure to artists across the city. And behind the paintings is a lot of history.
There's just so much that's come out of this place, and we're a working class people, and I think that gives us our grit.
The club was started in 1947 with an impressive range of past members such as Ellis Lowry. Artists here help each other improve their skills, and for some members it already runs in the family.
I painted my mum who spent her time knitting a COVID comfort blanket. And we both come to Salford Art Club together, and my mum paints figures, I paint figures, and we just have a great time.
We're very fortunate to meet in the art gallery, which gives us this fantastic space to work and exhibit.
Philip has some of his own paintings on exhibition.
And I'll send them away to be printed in aluminiums.
But today his job is to give a spotlight to Salford artists.
We had an online exhibition, but it's not the same. Being actually in a place like this, people can come in and actually appreciate the work, have an emotional attachment to it possibly. It brightened up the day even. People have come in and said how much they feel better after seeing the artwork here.
The exhibition will run until March next year, and new members are always welcome, whether you're a professional or you've just started creating art.
A study shows that children are 3 months behind on learning due to lockdowns, from those with disadvantaged areas being most likely to be affected.
Salford-based business Educrate are hoping to help bridge this gap through creating boxes that serve both educational and entertainment needs. Natalie Jefferson has been to find out more.
Educrate set up boxes for young children aged 3 to 8 of materials that we think will be fun but also educational. We set ourselves up exactly 1 year ago. We were very aware that children were struggling with their emotions, with their mental well-being, due to the lockdowns that had happened and the fact that they were away from their own friends, they were away from the nursery or the school environment, they weren't interacting with other children. So emotionally they weren't making progress, and we felt that was important to address. I am an ex-teacher and ex-special needs coordinator and very aware of how important children's emotional well-being is.
So have you come across any trials and tribulations so far? I know you've only been going for a year, but what have you experienced and what do you think you need to overcome?
I think we've made mistakes over the period of time because we started the business with great enthusiasm but no understanding at all of business and how it'd work and how online retail would work.
So where do you see the future of Educrate going?
We'd like to have more sales. We'd like perhaps to be able to have an inroad into schools and nurseries. COVID has restricted us with that because the ideal would be that we were able to take our product and show people, but we've not been able to go into nurseries or schools and do that because I think that seeing something is a lot better than looking at a photo online, isn't it?
Now it stayed open during 2 world wars and has seen weddings and funerals for the great and good of Salford, but now the city's cathedral will have to close its doors.
The Cathedral of St John the Evangelist, as it's also known, will have to close in March 2023 and won't reopen until December 2024. It's all part of an £18 million restoration, and George Booth went down to the cathedral to tell us more.
So yes guys, as you can see I'm at Salford Cathedral based on Chapel Street, which is going to gain a multi-million pound restoration project starting in March 2022. This aims to revive the iconic structure whilst making it the most sustainable cathedral in the country. The Dean, Michael Jones, has said this was not an easy decision to take, as this option means the cathedral will have to close for 18 months while the interior work is carried out. The refurbishment will provide new sources of energy to heat and light the building, as well as offer long-term drainage and roofing solutions. The work does coincide with the 175th anniversary of the cathedral. However, Pure Cell Architects will use modern-day techniques to preserve the cathedral's history. Some parish members are very upset that it's going to close for 18 months. However, this is only necessary to make the correct changes to the cathedral. Back to you guys in the studio.
Well, that's all from us today at Salford Now.
We'll be back tomorrow at 5 p.m. for our next programme. Goodbye.